Hello, namaste, and welcome to Deep Into Your Soul. My name is Marcia, and I am the founder of Deep Into Your Soul, a sanctuary in Dayton, Ohio, with a global client base where I offer energy healing, shamanic healing, chakra clearing, intuitive guidance, and private yoga therapy. All veterans are by donation, always. So we talk a lot about what to look for in an energy healer and what you can receive out of an energy healing. But what about using our discernment to make sure we're not being gypped or that we're working with somebody legitimate? So I want to give you some discernment tools to help you decide if a person is fake or not. Okay? First of all, a really big clue is that the person tries to sell you or upgrade, up level right away. They might offer you a free consultation and then try to hook you into multi-levels of commitment. That costs a lot of money. Somebody who is authentic and really wants your well-being is not going to try to manipulate you in that way. They will give vague answers without any substance. For example, they might reach for straws like, oh, I'm seeing somebody with the letter L or M or N or P. Those are all really common letters, and it's not really very clear. And then you fill in the blanks like, oh, could it be Peter or could it be Mary, right? And then they go, yes, yes, that's it. Not a good sign. They're really good at body language, right? So they have a real skill at looking at your body and looking at your eyes, your lips, your mouth, your tone of voice, and they can pick up a lot just from that. But that doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. They have access to Google too, so they can set up an appointment with you or you can set up an appointment with them. And guess what? They have your last name, and if you're really not being wise and you give them all your personal information, like your birthday or your time of birth, then they have all that information they can use later in some other unethical way. So be careful, right? They can look you up and they can also gather information and keep it as a resource. They're really good at sizing people up. That's a great skill, right? That's a skill that we all want. But if we're using that skill to try to manipulate so that we can just make money or become famous or whatever it is, if our motive is not to be of service, then that's something you really want to watch out for. Another thing to spot is they'll only tell you what you want to hear. Now, I know that's a hard one, but really, would you rather have an energy healer work with you and say, I feel something here energetically. It's not something that I can necessarily cure, but I think you should go see a doctor about it. Whereas somebody else might say, oh, you're fine, there's nothing wrong, and then you find out you had cancer or something. Not to say that it's their fault, but you want somebody to be honest with you so that you can take action as well. They guess based on statistics and your vulnerabilities. If your face moves a certain way, somebody who's really good at body language will be able to tune in and say, oh, you're so sad, or oh, you're so angry, and here's why, right? So you want to be careful about that. Another big sign is that they ask way too many questions. If they're trying to reach for straws to get to an answer, you're basically giving them all the information, and they're just pulling it all together to make it sound like they're doing a good job. They can have a huge ego. They can think they're really important. They can kind of be authoritative in their approach with you. A really good energy healer is going to sit back and listen and let you actually be the catalyst for your own healing. We're just the observer and the initiator to help you on your way. Another thing is their life does not reflect their work, right? Now, we don't want to be judgmental, right? Because people have all sorts of things that go on in their lives. Who knows? But if somebody is really adamant about telling you that you need to stop smoking and that this is causing such and such a thing in your body, and they are, reeked and covered with smoke, that might be that they're not necessarily paralleling their own actions with their words. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you just want to be careful that they're not living a secret life or a double life, or when you see them out in public, they treat you differently, right? They should be able to treat you with boundaries, but with great love and respect. They deliver false promises and instant gratification. We live in a society these days where we want answers fast, and if we don't get them fast, we think that the answers aren't going to come or the person isn't a good practitioner. That's the farthest thing from the truth. If you've ever taken a yoga class or you've had a massage, it might take 10 massages to break up all the tension in your shoulder. It might take 20 yoga classes or a year's worth of yoga just to get you to breathe more deeply. It's a process. Your body and mind have to adjust to these new ways of being. So if they give you an instant answer, be careful. It's not always accurate, and it's not always in your best interest. I hope these ideas help you to use your discernment when you're working with an energy healer or intuitive. Namaste.